Italian ultras believe they represent the true heart of Italian football, that they're preserving something special in the game. And the capital, Rome, is home to one of the great rivalries in world football, where the ultras put on a show for the world to see.
After the break, I'm back in Rome for one of the major events of the Serie A calendar, the Rome Derby, Lazio v Roma. And I got one of the hottest tickets in town.
I'm in Rome, and it's Derby Day. Lazio v Roma, one of the biggest games in world football. This city is a hotbed of football passion, and its two major teams have a fierce and historic rivalry. Roma are traditionally the team of the urban working class. Lazio's stronghold has been the more affluent middle-class suburbs. For decades, they've clashed in and around the Stadio Olimpico, the stadium they share. But before going to the game, I wanted to meet Lazio's ultras, the Irriducibili. They were formed in 1987 and are more than 6,000 strong. They have a right-wing reputation. Fascist symbols have been frequently seen on the terraces. In 2005, Paolo Di Canio, a former Lazio ultra who became an iconic player for the club, was pictured doing a Roman salute to the Lazio fans. This fascist image shocked the football world. The Irriducibili are the most famous ultras in Italy because they're the most controversial, and it's not just because of their politics.
They've become a brand, like Armani, Louis Vuitton. They make these wonderful jumpers that say Irriducibili on them, which are more popular than the ones that say Lazio on them. So I think there's a level of resentment from some of the other ultras groups. They're seen as sellouts.
I wanted to meet one of the leaders of the Irriducibili, Fabrizio Toffolo, but that was going to be a problem. At the time of filming, Fabrizio and 3 others were in prison facing charges of intimidation and attempted extortion. They had backed a plan to overthrow the Lazio president. The president had cancelled Irriducibili privileges, 1,000 season tickets and money for choreographies, which the club had paid for in the past.
I think if you wanted to find an example of ultra power run mad, it'd be hard to find a better example than the Irriducibili.
The arrests were the big talking point before the derby, and there was one place, it was the sole topic of discussion.
Comunque credo che sia importante la liberazione dei 4 ragazzi.
The Irriducibili's own radio program.
Perché non meritano di stare lontano dalle loro famiglie.
It's called Voice of the North Stand, named after the Lazio terrace in the Stadio Olimpico, and broadcast across the city.
Nella tifoseria della Lazio sia in trasferta che in casa non è mai accaduto niente.
It's presented by Gianluca Trione.
Irriducibili è una parola che significa praticamente persone che non si arrendono mai o che comunque non si riescono a ridurre, quindi
The radio program is a forum for the ultras to dispute the claims of attempted extortion leveled against their leaders.
Secondo noi non è vero, poiché i ragazzi hanno agito alla luce del sole, tra l'altro parlando per radio, facendo interviste. Si credeva e si sperava che la Lazio potesse andare a stare meglio, solo questo è il motivo. E per questo la tifoseria laziale non fa più il tifo da inizio del campionato.
Since the arrests, Lazio's ultras had held a silent protest inside the stadium. It's not unusual for Lazio's ultras to flex their muscles in this way. They like to show their power, and a silent protest means no singing and no chanting on the terraces. Complete silence. But tonight was the Rome derby, and that silence was about to be broken. Even from his prison cell, Fabrizio Toffolo addressed his ultras on the eve of the derby. A letter from him was read out on air.
E vi invito a tornare a tifare in questa occasione, tifando a squarciagola per la maglia, solo per la maglia e l'amata Lazio. A voi vi chiedo in segno di gratitudine che in questa nostra battaglia e giorni difficili è andata oltre la fede calcistica, e parliamo dei romanisti, di tifare solo ed esclusivamente la nostra Lazio.
Lazio's ultras had been given their orders, and in just a few hours' time, I was going to be in the middle of the action. A couple of hours before kick-off, I headed for the ground. The derby atmosphere was already building. I'm about to experience something unique, something that's, you know, very special. I mean, I can't wait. This is something I've been looking forward to for a long time. Now, we're also going to try something a little bit different here, something a little bit mad, something we've never done in any other country. I'm going to try and keep this low. I'm going to start the first half with Roma, yeah? Get a taste for it. Then we're going to try and come out, run round to the other side, get in the Lazio end, experience the second half of Lazio. Now, this is like probably impossible. This is blagging at the highest level. But let me tell you something now. We're going to die trying. I cannot wait. Bring it on. But before my plan could kick into action, I had to meet Roma's ultras group, the Boys. The Boys formed in 1972, making them Roma's oldest ultras group. They're also right-wing, and have their own place on the middle of the Roma terrace, where only they can stand, and where I hope to join them for the first half. Gianpaolo, one of their leaders, has agreed to meet me before the match. Right, so I'm going to go meet Gianpaolo now, who's a Roma fan, one of the top boys. He's actually banned from going in, so he usually stands outside. But I'm going to be down in with his boys, so I'm just going to go and meet him, greet him. Just want to break a bit of ground with him, you know? I won't be telling him nothing about slipping around the other side, I can assure you of that. Gianpaolo, thank you, grazie, I really appreciate this. I know there's a lot of police around, I'll keep this very short and sweet. Firstly, today is a big match, and is it the ultimate battle of the ultras? It was difficult to talk outside the stadium. Gianpaolo was banned and police were everywhere, so he led us to a bar nearby for a chat. I asked him again about what would happen at the derby.
Sento dentro che sarà un derby particolare, ma se ti dovessi dire adesso come sarà, il derby è imprevedibile, è bello anche questo. C'è sempre stato un desiderio di prevalere sugli altri, di radicare una prevalenza cittadina a livello territoriale. Quindi questo ha portato inevitabilmente, essendo anche comunque persone di strada, a volte anche a contrasti fisici.
Gianpaolo was banned after being arrested at the 2004 derby. Fights broke out with police and chaos erupted around the stadium.
Ci furono all'esterno dello stadio violenti scontri e si sparse questa voce fondata, cioè la gente veramente ci credeva, di un ragazzo che era rimasto ucciso negli incidenti.
The rumor was that a boy was run over by a police car. It turned out not to be true, but it led to an unprecedented situation. Roma captain Totti was told about the rumours sweeping the stadium. Both Roma and Lazio ultras wanted the game to be abandoned, and for safety reasons, it was.
Quindi vennero ritirati gli striscioni, la partita venne sospesa, a seguito di questo nacquero violenti incidenti, poi la notizia si rivelò infondata, però io personalmente e parecchi altri ragazzi fummo arrestati per questa cosa.
Violence continued late into the night. Gianpaolo couldn't join me for tonight's game because of the ban, but I'm going to be a guest of his ultras, the boys, for the first half anyway.